for this for a few weeks now, and that is awesome. We just closed the enrollment a few weeks ago, so I wanted to make sure that everybody got the chance to be on here and really get the full benefits. So very, very pumped. Let's get into it. Still a few people jumping on, but again, guys, this will be recorded for you. So pay attention, be present, set your intention for this. And then at the end, if you want to go back a few days later and watch it and pause it or whatever, you can definitely do that. So if you can't take notes fast enough or you miss something, don't worry, because it's going to be recorded for you. Just be present, take in the information, grab a nice cool drink, and let's have some fun tonight. You ready? Cool. So this module, as most of you know, is really about setting up the appointment and closing into your business. So a lot of you have been doing the homework, which is awesome. I'm actually going to talk about a few of you today, so stay tuned for that. I know we have a few people that have just been rocking it with the homework and with the course. So I'm going to talk about you guys, and you've been setting some appointments, and now we're going to go into really how to close them and get them into your business, right? Because setting appointments is fantastic. Closing people into your business is even better, right? That's where it starts to get fun. So tonight, we're going to cover common questions that I saw a lot of you had. And this doesn't necessarily have to do with Module 2, but I wanted to answer these because a few of you had these questions, and it was coming up more than once, so I figured it'd just be easy to answer it here in mass, and then that way a lot of you will be able to move forward and really feel as if, okay, I'm ready, I'm prepared, I can now move on to the next step. So I'm going to cover those. Scripts to set the appointment. Now, you're going to want to screenshot these, write them down, however you want to do it. Again, you will be getting this recording, so don't worry about, if you miss something real quick, go back and take a look at it. Now, with that being said, I will say this, one thing that I forgot to mention, please, and I say this before every training I do, stay until the very end. And the reason I say that is because, and you may have heard me say this before, with anything that you do, you want to do two things. You want to set the intention why you're here so that you get the most benefit out of it. And also, there may be some golden nugget. There may be one thing that I say, and it may be at the very last question that somebody asks, right? And that one thing can take your business from $0 to $1,000 a month, or a couple $100 a month to hundreds of thousands of dollars per month, right? So make sure that you stay till the very end, because we're going to, even in the questions, there's going to be a lot of great great things going on back and forth, and I think that'll really benefit you. So the scripts are definitely something that you're going to want to stick around for, and you guys will get full access to those, and this will really help with a lot of the questions that I've been getting. Meeting setup. This is about the places to go, how to dress, and how I go through the presentation. And for a lot of you, this is where you're really, really going to have some aha moments. So I'm excited for that. Closing scripts. Now here, a few of you have been confessing to me that you're a little nervous about closing, but don't worry, it is so simple. It's incredible. So simple. And like I said, I always leverage the tools. So I'm going to share with you exactly how you can do that as well. Then I'm going to give you an assignment, and each module I give you an assignment for a very specific purpose. And that is because I want you to take this course in spades. So whether you're watching all the recordings or you're going with us live from week to week, I want you to kind of span out the assignments and make sure you give yourself a couple days of leeway, so that way you're making money while you're going through the course, you're implementing, and you're doing all the strategies, while we're going through it. This is all about taking action, right? So everybody say, take action. Awesome. Because if you just watch this and you don't do anything, well, guess what? Nothing's going to change in your business. And I'm going to actually cover that in one of the questions I've been getting. Going to have to beat you guys up a little bit. I don't usually have to do that, but there's a couple common questions I've been getting that I feel like it's really an area that is in need of some coaching, and it's actually a really good thing. I think it'll benefit the group. So hopefully you guys won't get mad at me, but at the end of the day, my sole purpose of doing this is for you to get results, right? So I'm going to have to be tough on some of you, but you'll hopefully get benefit out of that. And then again, of course, we're going to go into some Q&A. But before we do, I want to give a shout out to some awesome people that are seeing some great results. This is Tracy Larson. She messaged 10 people and got 2 appointments already. She completed the assignment from Module 1. So just wanted to give her a thumbs up, a congratulations. You definitely want to reach out to her. She's in the Facebook group and see what she's doing and what she's got going on. So congrats, Tracy. Very excited for you. And then Maria, I believe is how you pronounce this. I apologize if it's Maria or however, but it's a beautiful name. She got her 2 appointments as well, and I just wanted to give her a thumbs up. She emailed me, very excited, so happy for her, and she completed the assignment. So anybody that goes through and completes the assignment, just kudos for you. I couldn't mention all of you on here because there's so many of you, but just a few of you had emailed me and had really been excited and got some really good prospects. So wanted to bring you guys up. Danny out of Australia. So yes, this can work for any country in the world, any continent in the world. It's working for people in Germany. I've gotten some from the UK, some emails from Austria and Australia, of course. So that's really exciting. And some also from India and Malaysia, which is really neat. So congratulations, Danny. He got his 2 appointments, and that is just amazing. And finally, I want to give out a huge congratulations to Jacob Moore. He has just been providing a ton of value for people in the course, and I appreciate him. He's just been going out, he just went out and did it. And he didn't second guess it. He didn't overthink it. He just went out and implemented, and he's in massive action. He's already recruited 2 people and has set appointments almost every single day. So this guy is just making things happen. So I just want to give him a huge shout out and say congratulations. Just from Module 1 has already recruited a couple people. And I just thought that was absolutely awesome. So the moral of the story here is, don't overthink it. Massive action will trump everything else. Will trump talent, will trump doing it right. Just go out there and make it happen. So congratulations to all of you guys. And for those of you who did complete the assignment for Module 1, big congratulations to you as well. I am, keeping my eyes on you guys. And if you do have an update for me, please tell me, because I love to see that. It just makes my day. And, just message me on Facebook or shoot me an email. I would love to know your progress going through the course. You guys know my goal, right? My goal is to create 10 six-figure earners this year. And with this, I truly believe it can happen. So very excited for that. All right. So here are some common questions that I've been seeing. Okay. And like I said, want to address these. It's, I don't want you to come into this with the thought process of I have to do everything perfectly, because most people that do see success, just so you know, they go into something and they're going to fumble around a little bit, right? You're going to fumble around. You're going to find your ground and find where it really works for you. So for those that have been really taking action and kind of figuring stuff out that works for them, they've been seeing results. What I found is a lot of you are trying to get it absolutely perfect and not screw up. Well, trust me, guys, there are negative people out there. There are people that are going to, ignore you. There are people that are going to make you uncomfortable. You're going to get a little uncomfortable. You're going to wonder if you're doing it right or wrong. And just know that the more you do it, the easier it'll get. And I'm going to give you as much ammo as possible to do it right. But just know that it's going to take a little fumbling around. So the first question was, I don't have any mutual friends when I click on Find Friends. What should I do? Now, what really, I didn't get this from a lot of people, but just a few. And what really, I don't want to say frustrated me, but what really made me kind of want to address this is that this stopped some of you from actually going out and prospecting. And I have to tell you that if something as small as this is going to stop you from going out and prospecting, then let me tell you, it's going to be a rough road ahead. Now, I understand if technically you don't know exactly how to get around this, and I'm going to share with you how to do that. But if you don't, here's the thing about this question. If you don't have a lot of mutual friends, what that means is you need to build up your friend base. And so what some of you did, very few of you, okay, so I know I'm not talking to a majority of you, but what some of you did is you just stopped prospecting and just left it alone and didn't take any action whatsoever because you couldn't get past this little hurdle. What I want you guys to understand is that technology is always going to have ups and downs, right? Always. Doesn't matter if you are making millions per year or you're just starting out, it's always going to have ups and downs. You need to know that this little of a thing, you can push forward and still do the work anyway. Okay, still get out there, still get the appointments. So what this question is really asking to me is, you know what, I want to find an excuse not to actually do the work. Okay, so I just want you guys to know that I feel like if you are technically like you have no idea whatsoever how to address this, then okay, it's a legitimate question. But just think before you go into a process, remember that if you just Google something or you just spend 5 minutes trying to get through it rather than getting frustrated, you most likely will. So some of you may be getting a little upset. Some of you may be thinking, oh my gosh, maybe she's talking to me. Either way, it's okay. I just want you to really get the most results, which is why I had to say it that way and bring it up. So here's as simple as you can do. And I actually mentioned this in Module 1. Go to the Messenger app on your phone. When you use that, you can actually message as many people as you want. For now, that's not saying that Facebook won't change things, but you adapt, right? When you're building a business, you adapt. So, and we'll talk about vision a little later, but when you really are wanting to take your business to the next level and you have that vision of walking across your stage or getting that humongous check or having a big team, something as little as this is not going to stop you. Okay, so I'm challenging you that the root of the issue is not with this little technical hurdle. The root of the issue is, okay, do I really want this bad enough? But I'm going to answer this for you so you can do it and you will be able to just crush it out. Go to the top search bar and search for local people, right? Here it is right here. If I type in my local city, what's going to come up is a bunch of fan pages and groups with hundreds of thousands of people in them to reach out to. Now, if I'm just on Facebook on my PC or my Mac, I can't reach out to each and every one of them all the time because, Facebook they'll flag me, right? But if I'm on my Messenger app, as I mentioned in Module 1, I can do that. So just go into fan pages, go into the different groups and start looking for people. And here's another few things you can do. Search for local college campuses, chambers of commerce, Hispanic chambers. Even the city, like I said, should have a fan page. So these people are all people in your local area, right? And so the simplest thing is to go up to that search bar and do exactly that. Here's another thought. Right? We're building, this course is all about building walkaway income. I've said that many, many times, which is why, I feel like because you guys are on such a high level that I can talk to you at a higher level and talk to you about the mindset and subconscious action of asking these types of questions, right? Because a lot of you are total action takers and you're just awesome. And I know you can take it. So if you're building a huge business, you know that investing comes with that. And I'm sure you've heard my husband say, if you've listened to Ray at all, maybe you haven't, he's really, really good at explaining this. And, you know, your goal when it comes to investing and advertising dollars and things like that is to spend more, not spend less. Because hopefully if you spend, let's say $10 to $20 a week, or $100 to $200 a week, or $1,000 to $2,000 a week, the goal is that you're making, you know, thousands per week more than what you spent. So that means if it's working, you can ramp it up. Well, if you are stuck by not paying $1 for somebody that you think is super qualified, don't let that hold you back either, right? Why in the world should that hold you back? You can invest $10 to $20. Don't go to Starbucks for a day, and that's 5 new prospects right there for $1. Now, I'm not suggesting you pay the $1 for every single prospect you talk to, but if you feel like somebody is super qualified, then why not spend $10 a week for 10 qualified people that you really want to reach out to? For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, sometimes Facebook will say, if you don't have a mutual friend in common or anything like that, or you're not following each other, they'll say, hey, you can pay $1, and instead of going into the other folder, you'll go into the inbox, right? So this is just a simple way of a little small investment that can get you, you know, a huge return and also get you a lot more people into your business. So don't let that hold you back either. And expand. You know, this is not what we talk about a lot here. There are some technical aspects, right? But most of it are the concepts and theories that you can apply to any social media platform out there. This works extremely well in addition to Facebook, on Twitter and LinkedIn. So you can take this and just, if something confuses you technically, go to YouTube, go to Google, type it in, and you'll find a million different answers and a million different tutorial videos on exactly how to do this. So, but it's very, very similar. All of them have a search bar or a search tool. So you just want to take the concepts and apply it. All of them have a place for you to message someone or reply to them or mention them, so to speak, on Twitter. So you just want to make sure you're doing that. So this is just something that I wanted to mention here, guys. Hopefully you guys aren't too mad at me, although I think I put it in the nicest way possible, right? Here's another common question. Will people get mad that I'm messaging their friends since I'm looking for mutual friends? Well, here's the thing. Again, most people that are asking this haven't gotten it yet. And I'm telling you, I haven't either. I have never run into this ever. Not to say that it couldn't happen, but if it does, you know, I don't know anyone where that slowed them down from success. Okay. But if it does, apologize, let them know you're selective with who you reach out to, and just say, listen, you know, I apologize. I was not trying to target your friends or spam them or anything like that. I'm very selective, and you just happen to have some great friends. Sorry about that. You know, and that person obviously has nothing better to do than to yell at you. So again, when you're asking this question, I think most people that ask this hadn't actually taken action yet. There are a million things that can happen. So stop worrying about what could happen and take action. That's all I can say. And hopefully I hammer that. If you get nothing else from Module 2, I hope you get that taking massive action and figuring it out along the way is 100, 1,000, a million times better than wondering about getting it perfectly and if everything's going to pan out right for you. So, with that being said, you are going to learn a lot of tactics to do it right that will definitely help guide you in the right direction. So, and with the homework or with the assignment tonight, I think you're going to really, really, really love it. And I think we'll see a lot more than we have already. We've seen a ton of action takers. I think we'll see more than we have already after this. Cool? Awesome. Getting some great feedback. You guys are so good. Awesome. Okay. So let's go into the appointment. And this is where a lot of you had questions, and I totally understand. You are starting to get some appointments, which is exciting. After Module 1, I know a lot of you were just rocking and rolling. So now your question is, what do I do? When I go meet with this person or I get them on the phone, what in the world should I do? And the first thing you should do is take a deep breath and walk into that appointment, realizing this is not a big deal and you're going to have hundreds down the road. Okay. So when someone, and we're talking about Facebook here, social media, whatever platform you're using, when you reach out to them with the scripts that we've used in Module 1, if they respond to you positively, here are some basic things you can say. Very simple. Usually, now if you've heard my husband train, I think he's talked about this, how when you use words like usually, typically, LY words, basically, it really provides that social proof. People want to know that they're not the only ones doing it. They want to know that they're not the only ones who were crazy enough to meet with you and crazy enough to join your business, right? So wherever you can provide social proof, do it. It works very, very well. So using this word will definitely have an increase in the amount of appointments you set. Usually I like to meet face to face. I have blank open, I have Friday night open, and I have Wednesday at 2 o'clock next week. Do any of those work for you to meet for coffee? So I would get as specific as possible, and if they don't, then throw out some more appointments. But you want to make sure you are acting busy and people know that you've got things rocking and rolling and going on. Would love to get to know more about you and see if it's a fit. So you've sent out, hey, I'm a recruiter for a blank company headquartered out of blank, right? And they respond positively. This is exactly what I usually say. Okay, now, of course, I may throw in some personal stuff in there and cater it to them, if we've had a good conversation. But this is the gist of it. So take a screenshot of this, whatever you need to do to remember this. Because when I throw out that word, usually, all of a sudden people are like, oh, she's done this before. She's not a psycho killer, right? If I go meet with her, she's not going to shoot me. It's all going to be okay, and it's going to be great and lovely. Then this is what you're going to get sometimes, of course, right? People always want to know more information. Not always, but sometimes. You will get people that just are so excited and happy to meet with you, and they're positive, and those are the real low-hanging fruit that we're looking for. And then you'll get people that ask for more information. And this is what I'll do. Honestly, okay, another LY word, right? Honestly, it's much easier to go over in person. Plus, I usually like to meet with you first to make sure it's a fit. I have blank and blank open next week. Do any of those work for coffee? And then I throw out a little takeaway, right? Again, if you're not looking to make extra money, no worries. Just let me know. We don't want to waste each other's time, okay? So this right here, again, another script you can use. Let's say they ask you for the name of the company, right? I will say this. Let's say they ask you for more information, just flat out ask. I will say this. And if they persist on the name of the company, I'll give them the name of the product. You might want to write that down. I'll give them the name of the product, and then I'll just throw something like this back at them again. Hey, let's meet, blah, blah, blah. And if we can't lock down a time, then I will shoot them the video, okay? But here is what I like to do before I shoot them the video. I usually like to meet in person, but here's some information on our company. And if you have a product-specific video, that's what I would send them, okay? Here's some information on our company and our product. If you don't, that is totally okay. Don't worry about it. Again, don't overthink it. Don't worry about it. Just go out there and send out as many videos as you can if you can't lock down an appointment. Like I said in Module 1, I really like to meet face-to-face with someone because I know when they're in front of me, I have a better chance of closing them. But it's better to send them information than just forget about them and mark them off your list, right? Because, hey, they might be a really good person that, loves what you're sharing with them. It might be the right timing for them. Again, I'm very selective on who I reach out to as we have a lot of people looking to work with us. So if you like it, great, would love to chat. You seem awesome. If not, let me know so we don't waste each other's time. Have an awesome day. Hope to hear from you soon. So again, I'm throwing in social proof, a little takeaway, and just saying, hey, let's not waste each other's time, right? If this is not something for you, please let me know so I can mark you off the list. the biggest issue are maybes. Okay. The ones that say no, that's great. You want to know because that gets you closer to the yes, right? If they say no, celebrate because that means they're not wasting your time. You can mark them off the list and move on. The yeses, even better, right? Of course we want yeses. The maybes, the ones that kick you around or are constantly on the fence, they will drive you crazy. They will drive you crazy because you don't know if they're in or out. So I want to know if they're in or out as much as I possibly can. So this is a great way to kind of get that going and frame that. If you use these exact scripts right here, you will set appointments, just letting you know. If they're negative, and this was another question I've been getting from people, well, you know, this person said that they don't like pyramids, or this person said that it looks like a scam to them, okay? I am going for the low-hanging fruit here. I don't want to convince those people. No problem, clearly not a fit for you. Have a great day. I seriously, each and every one of you on this webinar, write this down right now. Please write this down. No problem. Clearly not a fit for you. Have a great day! Exclamation point. You can even put a smiley face in there. Who cares, right? Laugh it off. Have fun with this. It's not a big deal. It is your business. So you want to be addicted to the work, not the results, right? Be addicted to the work, not the results. So have fun with it. Might as well make it fun and exciting. Here's the thing about this course. You are not allowed to convince in this course. There is no convincing allowed. If I catch any of you convincing, I'm going to send you a little cone hat and put you in the dunce chair and you'll be in timeout, right? No convincing allowed. This is fun. This is exciting. This is creating the lifestyle of your dreams. Who in the heck would want to do that with somebody that's negative about life all the time? If you catch yourself convincing, what I want you to create is a little trigger in your mind. If you catch yourself convincing, stop what you're doing, walk away from the computer for a second, and exit out of the message mid-message. Okay, don't even finish it, and just go to the next person. So just remember that. Remember my little voice when you start convincing. I don't know, maybe it sounds like this, very, very otherworldly, saying, step away from your computer, stop messaging the person, and move on. Okay, it's not worth it. I do not convince anybody. There's way too many people on Facebook and on Twitter and on LinkedIn and on Instagram to even worry about that. So move on. I think I've hammered this home for most of you, but if you do convince or I see you asking a question about convincing, I may create a little dunce hat and send it around. That would be fun, wouldn't it? It's not going to be good. So just remember to have fun with it, right? And here's an example of, I wanted to give you some examples of ones that weren't the easiest, but positive people that I would follow up with, right? If they're negative, then I don't even bother following up with them. But if they're positive, then I definitely will. And this is just an example of a message that I sent out, because obviously I do this all the time. And here you notice that he said, sounds interesting, but he'll be traveling until mid-October. Now, what's cool about this message right here is he's really interested about it. He just wants me to touch base with him then. That person, of course, I'll follow up with, right? What's really cool about this message is he says he's traveling, right? And in any company you're in, doesn't matter what company, what you sell, does not matter. Health and wellness, travel, technology. The benefit of the benefit is that you get to travel more. So when I touched base with him in October, a couple of weeks ago, what I brought up was the traveling piece. I asked him where he went, how often he gets to do that, was it pleasure or whatever. So just make sure you're listening to people and you pay attention. And then I went into, setting the appointment. So this is somebody that I would follow up with. No, he's not a shoo-in, but he's positive, right? He even thanks me for the message. So that's really, really cool. Here's another example of one that, this is where I actually sent out the video because some of you had questions about, well, if you're going back and forth, how do you really get them the information, and when do you know to do that? When do you know to cut off from an appointment and send out the video? Well, I had done the previous message like in module 1, right? I had sent her, I'm a professional recruiter for a company headquartered out of Texas, and blah, 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 blah. And she said that she was really interested, asked me if she could do it part-time. And I said, absolutely. And then she said, but I'm in Fort Lauderdale. Would that be an issue? And I said, absolutely not. Because I'm in Southwest Florida and she's in Southeast Florida, I thought creating an appointment would be a little difficult. Now, let me preface. When I was first building my business, I slept, and breathed prospecting, appointments, getting people in my business. I mean, that's all I thought about. I was so excited to get to that next level. Still very excited about the business, but because of where we are now, I don't have to travel 2 hours to meet with someone face to face. I can do it over the phone. If you are just building your business, I would highly suggest if they're a couple hours away, set up several appointments and go meet with them, right? Go meet with them, but make it worth your time. So don't just have one person you're meeting with. Set up, 3 to 5 appointments that day. So in case one flakes out, you didn't just drive all the way 2 hours away for, a no-show. But if you are brand new, this may be something that you want to do face to face. For me, I thought, you know what, we're probably not going to be able to lock down a time to meet. So I wanted to get out the information to her. And this is how I did it. I said, that won't be a problem at all. Are you available Friday? She said, I may be going to Naples, blah, blah, blah. Play it by ear. Sounds great. So I messaged her, or she messaged me and said, is this something I could do on the side? And I said, absolutely. So this is a great prospect, guys. This is what you're looking for. Both these guys is what you're looking for. Just some of them, you may have to work a little harder to lock them down, but the money is in the follow-up, right? The money's in the follow-up. So you will get many people like this if you just do it consistently and you reach out to people every single day and you go through the numbers. You will get a lot of people like this. You will also get a lot of people that are negative, and that's okay too. But again, go through the numbers and you'll see a lot of positive people. So I just tell her that I'm going to send her some info, because if, let's say I do go meet her on the East Coast, I do drive a couple hours, or I get her on the phone, I know at least that she's super positive and that she really likes what she sees. So I'm not wasting my time. So she gives me her email and I sent her the information and she absolutely loved it. So it was a great, great prospect and now a member of the team. So these are just some things that you want to be aware of when you're doing this strategy, is that you are going to have to follow up, right? So once you lock that down, now you have to go to the meeting. And I put this, just make it fun. Dun, 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 right? Again, relax and breathe. You'll have hundreds of these. For a lot of you, it's going to be really uncomfortable your first few. For a lot of you, it's going to be really simple. But I don't want you to think of it as a recruiting meeting. I want you to think of it as you're just going to have coffee with a friend. That's how you should walk into these things, is you're just going to have coffee with a friend. Make it fun and get to know the people a little bit. And I'll share with you how to do that. So take a deep breath. I'm throwing a lot of information at you guys. So make sure that, I want to make sure you're still with me. And let's get into the nitty gritty of the actual meeting. Very, very important and fun stuff. Here are some places that you definitely want to go to. And the point of this is your first impression is really important. And you don't want to screw it up by doing something silly, right? And of course, you may, first few, like I said, you may do fantastic, and I'm sure a lot of you will, because after this module, you're going to know exactly what to say. Or you may stumble around a little bit on your first few, and that's okay. Just be okay with it. Whatever happens, happens. But you want to create the environment of, hey, I'm your friend, but I'm also the person that's going to lead you to success, right? So you don't want it to be, you want the person to feel really comfortable. You don't want it to be super stuffy, yet you don't want it to be a super, dive hole in the wall place. And we'll talk about places not to go to. So some really great places, Starbucks, Panera Bread, if you have that in your area, Calistoga. Really what you're looking for is a quiet lunch or coffee place with reliable internet. Because if I get an application in my hands, the first thing I want to do is put it into the computer. Or some of you may be playing the videos for your companies and things like that. And the worst is when the internet goes out, right? So you can't even get through the presentation. So you want to make sure that you have reliable internet. And also, you want to make sure that you make it fun and friendly. So not stuffy. Again, see how they're sitting next to each other. He's writing down he's doing the application. That's kind of what I wanted to show in this picture. He's giving the application. Then you want to go right in, put it into the computer, and then maybe show them some training stuff and move on to your next appointment, right? So those are great places to meet. Avoid going to noisy places. Okay, sounds obvious, but I've done it not thinking, and it totally ruins the atmosphere. Offices. Some of you may think that an office is a great place to do this. Not always the case. Now, I realize in some companies, a lot of insurance-based companies, that their culture is offices and suits and things like that. If that's your culture, your company culture, then great. Go ahead and do that. But if not, it's really, you want to stay away from kind of the interview feel, and you want to get into more of the sharing feel, right? Your home, please don't invite people over to your house. Number one, first and foremost, I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about you. Yes, they will feel uncomfortable if you invite them to your house, but these people, obviously they seem great online. You never know. So don't invite them to a private place. Just be careful for your sake and invite them to a public place. I've never heard of anybody having a problem, but you never know. So just make sure that you're meeting them in somewhere that, is more comfortable and less likely for something to go wrong. Low-end restaurants. I love this picture up here. Think outside the bun and try our new border bowls. Pretty gross. And you just don't want to meet in fast food places, really. Again, the immediate impression is very important. So I would pick something a little more classy than that. Hey, I love my fast food every once in a while, but you just don't want to meet there for your first meeting, okay? Then what to wear also becomes very important. And people overlook this all the time. Again, you don't want to be super stuffy and you don't want to be super casual. You want to be in between. So go for business casual, and I'll show you some examples. That means jeans and a nice top. People really, really are drawn to attractive people. And I don't mean, good looking people. I mean, just people that can convey themselves and portray themselves very, very well. People are drawn to them immediately. May seem very trivial, but I'm telling you, it makes a big difference when you are dressed nicely versus just showing up in, a backwards cap and some sweatpants. You maybe have been at home all day and you're just coming out for this one appointment. I don't care. You make yourself look presentable, okay? Summer dress, long skirt, knee to the near below. Please no short skirts. People get the wrong idea. And a blouse or top, obviously, if you're a woman. Jacket or button down and polo with jeans, if you're for men, is a really good look. Please avoid sloppiness, suits, like I said, unless that's your company culture. People feel really, they don't feel comfortable. They won't open up to you. And again, this is just like you meeting a friend for coffee. So you want to keep it that way. You want to keep it very casual, yet business friendly. Okay, that's a good way to put it. So here's some yeses. I feel like we're in the magazine Best Dressed, right? Here's some yeses. Okay, these are some good looks for you when you go on your appointment. And here are some no's. Okay, these are way too businessy. And these are way too casual. Now, if you dress like this on a regular basis, fine, whatever, that's great. You got to be you. But I would just, professional, make it a little more professional when you go to this appointment, okay? I think you guys know the drift, but just I had to throw it in there because it is important. People do look at this as a business decision. When they're making a business decision, they want it to be with somebody that they know they're in good hands with. Now, some things you want to make sure you have when you're setting up for your meeting. Also extremely important. Are you still with me here? Okay, cool. Wow, awesome. Very good feedback. Appreciate that. Okay, have your computer or iPad with the PowerPoint video ready to go. So what does this mean? This means that either you have it pulled up, and what I would recommend doing, or you have it downloaded on your computer or your iPad. For some videos and things that your company has, you can download it. You can literally go to the website and download it on your computer so that you don't have to rely on the internet, because we know, as I mentioned earlier, technology, it has its ups and downs, right? So it may be the best internet of all time and it'll go out for some reason while you're trying to show your prospect the video. So you can download it, or what you want to do is play it when you first are sitting down. Play the video, pause it like a few seconds in. So play it and pause it so that it starts buffering, so that when you go to play it, it's already downloaded, it's already buffered, and it plays straight through. You want it to play very smoothly, okay? So just be aware of that, because again, these attentions to detail will really impact how many signups you get. Please have an application ready to go with their name on it. I see so many people show up to a presentation and the person's positive and excited and they don't have any way to sign them up. Really, really silly. Really, really silly. So have a physical application. I like to have a physical one. And I also have my internet ready to go so I can sign them up on the actual internet as well. Some people, they don't want to give their information on paper, so you can do that way also. Have a list of appointments with names and events coming up on actual paper, okay, physically. This is major, major leverage, and I'll talk about how this is leverage in a minute. But right here, this will get you a lot of signups. See, people usually need a reason to join. They need to be pushed a little bit. I'm not saying you have to be pushy and super salesy. That's another thing with wearing suits. People associate salesmen with suits. And nobody here wants to be a salesman, right? We just want to be a sharer of information, smiley face. So, when you have just this little push to get them in the business, it makes a huge difference. So what you want to do is have a list of all the people you're going to meet with after them with their name at the top. And then what you also want to have is maybe a calendar or a list of events coming up that you can leverage. And here's what that looks like. So you're going to have one piece of paper with, their name at the top. So let's say you're going to meet with Jessica. You're going to have Jessica's name at the top, and underneath Jessica, you're going to have a list of all the people you're planning on going to see this week. So all the names of the people that you have appointments with. And you're also going to have, your calendar out. And this is, you have a big home meeting here. You've got a big meeting here, all the meetings set up, and look at that. They are first on your calendar. And what you're trying to convey here is how important timing is with this business. Now, based on your compensation plan, you have a few options here. You can either tell them that all these people are going to fall underneath them if you're in a binary, let's say, or you can say how exciting it's going to be that they get a prime position and all these people are going to come on board after them, and you're going to have the upper hand because you're going to get to this area and all the mutual friends first, right? We're going to tackle this area first together. And by the way, I've got some meetings coming up, and if you get on board now, you can actually invite people to those meetings, and you'll be able to invite before all these other people do. You see how that little push and that leverage could make someone make a decision right then and there. See, any objection out there, anyone, doesn't matter if it's the pyramid objection, doesn't matter if it's the money objection, I'm pulling out these sheets and I'm sharing with them how it works before I even get to their objection. And then I ask them again if they're ready to get started. And I'll talk about that a little later when we get into closing, but these will come in very, very handy. So if you can have these set up and ready to go, it makes a big difference. So now you have everything ready to go. Now it's time your prospect walks in and you got to break the ice, right? So here's some questions that I love to ask. And I would definitely write these down, screenshot this, go back to it later, whatever you need to do, because these will be very important. What made you come meet with me today? So, somebody comes in and I'll say, hey, Sally, it's so awesome to meet you in person. This is so cool. Just out of curiosity, why'd you come meet with me? What sparked your interest? And usually they'll say, well, I'm working 2 jobs, or, I'm just curious. I thought it was a really neat opportunity. I'm always open to making more money, whatever they say, right? And you're just keeping this in the back of your mind as ammo to use throughout the presentation and throughout the close. You want to know as much as you can about them, and all you're doing is reframing it and throwing it back at them, right? You've probably heard this before. Very, very simple. And these questions will make it very easy for you to close them. It will. What do you do right now, and what's your schedule like? So this is obviously where I want to find out how much time they have to devote to the business. So each of these questions, again, I'm going to use them to present the business how I want to present it. Now, some of you may just be playing the video. That's totally cool. If you're not presenting the video, and I'll go into how I present, you want to make sure you're keeping a mental note of these. What do you like or don't you like about your job? So I'll ask what they like about it, and then I'll ask them what they don't like about it. And they'll usually tell me, and a lot of times they'll say, well, I really like the people, but I hate the hours. Interesting. So you like the people, you like working with people. That's cool. So how many hours a week do you work? Well, I work 80 hours a week and it's killing me and I don't make any more money. Wow. So do you have a plan to get out of that? No, not really. That's why I'm here. Oh, okay. Perfect. Write these 3 questions down. They'll come in very handy. So if you could have your ideal work environment and lifestyle, what would it look like? And again, I'm not saying these like a robot, guys. I'm being very human about it. So, that comes in very handy. A lot of times they'll say, well, I guess I would be helping people, and I would be around a bunch of people that I really, really love. And I would be able to vacation whenever I wanted, but I would keep myself busy. They'll say things like that, and you can use that in every single aspect that you do towards the close and the presentation. So I've shared this before, actually in the sales presentation, but I want to share it again because it's so important. Again, here now, after you ask those questions, you're going to go into this 5-step intro, okay? You're going to tell them why you're doing this business. That is so awesome, because I know that I'm doing this business because I used to be in your exact same shoes. I worked 80 hours a week. I had no time for me, no time for my family. And it was really taking a toll, not only on my mental health, but my physical health. I wasn't eating right. I was stressed all the time. And I knew that if I kept doing what I was doing, I was never going to get out of this rat race that I'm in. Then you're going to tell them that you don't care whether they join or not, right? So you're going to say very nicely, not with an attitude, that, and that's why I'm doing this. And it sounds like, this may be a perfect thing for you. And usually when people see it, remember, there's that usually again, typically, usually when people see this, they get it right away. They get it right away and they're so excited. But if this is not for you, you need to tell me. I don't care whether you join or not. I just wanted to share this with you because, like I said, in our messaging, I thought you'd be perfect. Okay. And then you're going to share with them your vision. This may or may not be for you, but I know that I am going to put 10,000 people into this business. And I would love for you to be one of them. Or I know that this area is primed for this product, and I'm just excited that you're one of the first to see it. And I know that I'm going to build a massive team out here, and I would love for you to be a part of that team. If you don't know your vision, you need to find out what that is, because this could be the reason that no one's joining you. And a lot of times this has a lot to do with it. Remember in the beginning of this training, when I said that a lot of you are asking these types of questions because your vision or where you want to go with the business isn't big enough to just do the action anyway. I highly suggest writing down exactly what you want to get out of this business, because that's what's going to fuel people to join you. See, people join people, they do not join companies. So make sure that you really find out what that is, because you're going to be sharing it in every presentation. And trust me, by your 10th meeting, you are going to know exactly what you're going to do with this business. So, it's going to be, you're going to know that backwards, forwards, upwards, downwards. And then play the video, present the PowerPoint, use a flip chart, use an upline, have an upline present it, get an upline on the phone, however you want to do it. Get an upline on Skype. By the way, this setup will also work for Hangouts. It's really, really cool for Hangouts as well. So the goal is to build locally, of course. But once you get that local team going and you have some people outside the area, you can help them through Hangouts. Obviously, you can't have the physical, papers with you, but you can still say all of the things that you need to say to leverage them and get them into your business quickly. Okay. Now, then simply ask them if they like the information. So here's how I like to do it. I like to present the slides. So go through slides and cater it to them. Use the information from the first 3 questions, right? And here's how you can do this. Now, when I share this with you, don't think, oh, what am I? What am I? What am I? I'm going to share with you how I cater it to each person based on their personality traits. Don't think about who you are. What you should be thinking about is, how can I apply this to my presentation for who the prospect is? And you'll see what I mean in a minute. I use the 4 colors. This is not by any means original to me. The 4 colors are, I think some other trainers out there do it based on gemstones. These are the 4 different personality traits that you're going to want to cater to in your presentation. And each of them, I'll go over each of them very briefly, because if I went over them in detail, that would be a whole nother presentation on its own. It would be hours of training. I'll go through them very briefly and just think about your company and how you can apply these characteristics of people to your presentation. So the first one is red. And red people, they're very aggressive. They're very money driven. So when you think of red, I want you to think of money. Again, I want to go through this very, very quickly, just so you get a good idea of how you should be presenting the opportunity. Now, this, again, is if you're going to go through slides or a flip chart or whatever. If you're just going to do the video, great. But this will come into context with your closing and with your framing and breaking the ice. All these guys care about, these red personalities, is money for the most part. So you want to talk a lot throughout your presentation about the money. Blues, they love to have fun. So if you have a vacation incentive going on for your company, or you have, you can talk about the events, talk about how much fun the events are and how you all go out afterwards, and that you just get a whole group together and it's like a family and a posse, and you guys just have so much fun. And we just took, 3 vacations last year through the company, or whatever you want to say. This is where I'm catering the presentation to. Yellows, they love helping people. So most of your companies have a charity. Do they not? They have a charity that they give to or they donate to. So you should definitely be talking about that, and also about how many people your company has helped get, financially free, get fit, whatever that may be. Okay, so if you feel like somebody is really a yellow, they really are caring, they may speak a little softer, not aggressive at all, And you can usually tell immediately meeting someone which color they are. It might take you some practice, but you can usually tell. And then you have your greens, and these are analytical people. They really need to know facts. So this is where you tell them, listen, if you enroll, do not over exaggerate with greens. Don't tell them you're going to make $1 million in the next 12 months. You shouldn't really tell anyone that, but greens will definitely call you out on it, and it'll be super awkward, right? You want to tell them how this, if you put in, 2 people, and those 2 people go out and get 5, now they've qualified for their BMW or whatever that may be for your company. Okay, so this is where the green factor comes into play. There is no one color that is better than the other. Okay, they are all fantastic, and I've seen each and every one of these colors make 7 figures a year in network marketing. So just don't worry about, oh, I need to get reds, I need to get all reds, or I need to get all blues. It doesn't matter. Just know that you need to cater what you're saying to these individual colors. And that's the basics of how I really do it when I'm giving the presentation. So again, if you're just going to play the video, that's great. But here's where you want to get into the closing aspect. And this is where a lot of you get very nervous, right? But it is so easy. I'm telling you, just think of the person sitting across from you as a brain. Sounds weird, right? Sounds really weird. But if you don't think about if you're not so worried about what they think of you, and you just think of them as like a physical being that you're just trying to collect a decision from, you're just trying to tap into that brain and collect a decision, it makes it not as big of a deal, right? It makes it kind of nonchalant and easy. So with closing, whether you play the video or you go through the PowerPoint, you're just going to ask some simple questions. Now, you will get these. I know some of you think it's impossible, right, because of your past or whatever, but I promise you, you do this enough, you will get these people. And these are the super duper easy prospects. Now, I venture to say that some of you have gotten these and screwed it up because you didn't want to ask for the sale, or you got super wordy, or you threw up on them. This is not your time to talk. This is your prospect's time to talk. So you just ask the questions, and then you be quiet and you wait for the answer. Do not present after already presenting, right? I see that happen so many times. Pretty exciting, right? That's what I like to say, are pretty exciting stuff, huh? That's it. And then I wait for their response. Now, if they're positive, which is super duper easy prospect would be, they'd be like, yeah, I love this. It's awesome. You say, so is this something you could see yourself doing? Yeah, I really think I could. Awesome. Fill this out. So hand them the application or give them your iPad so they can do it online. And I'll be right back. I just have to use the bathroom. So usually I'll add something in there like, okay, fill this out. And once it's filled out, we're going to get you into some training. And that's it. And then I go use the bathroom because I don't want them to hammer me with questions. I like to step away. If somebody's ready to fill out the application, I like to step away and let them do it and come back, 5 minutes later or whatever, and just, have it all filled out and ready to go. So very, very simple. For a super duper easy prospect, do not overcomplicate it. Okay. Don't overcomplicate it. Now, here's what you're going to get with 90% of the people you meet with. Okay. You will get super duper easy, but most of the time, and I'm sure you've experienced this, right? You're going to get a prospect with questions. So here's where you want to go. Same thing. Pretty awesome, right? Pretty exciting, huh? Pretty exciting stuff, huh? Again, is this something you could see yourself doing? This is only if they're positive, right? Is this something you could see yourself doing? Yeah, I definitely do, but I have some questions, and they may ask you a question like, okay, how does the comp plan work? Or how many people do I need to start making money? Whatever that may be. And your next statement, no matter what they say, should be, great question, okay? Let me first just share with you how this works real quick. And this is where those sheets that I told you about come in very, very handy, okay? So you're going to pull out those sheets and you're going to, of names and events, and that's where you're going to say, listen, you have a prime position right now working closely with me, And I just want you to know that after you, I'm going to go to Mary. And that's where you edify Mary. And you say, Mary knows everyone and anyone in this town. And she is just a beast. Okay. She's going to be great. And I'm going to go to Ed. And Ed, he is a real estate agent around here. He knows really high end people. So excited for him and blah, 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 blah. And if your compensation plan is a binary, what you can say is all those people are going to fall underneath you if you decide to join today, if you decide to be a member of the team. If your compensation is not a binary, you can say, and all those people, they are, they're not going to hear about this until after you do and until after you're already mentioning it to people around here. And we're going to get the prime real estate, so to speak, on this product in this area. And it's going to be really exciting. They're going to find out about it after you. And you see this meeting I have coming up, not only will there be a ton of people there, but you can invite to that if you get on board today. See, it's all about leverage. This is where I get a lot of people to get off the fence because I want them to make a quick decision. I want them to know that if they get involved now, okay, they are not going to miss out. They're gonna make a fast decision, and it's gonna be the best decision they ever made. If you don't create these leverage tactics like this, that can be harder to do. And you create those maybes that we were talking about that can be very, very hard to get them off the fence. Now, when you do this, 90% of the time, not always, but most of the time, they totally forget about the questions they had. And now their only questions are about how this works. Their only questions are about, okay, how can I get in before these people? And those are very, very good questions to have. Okay. So that works very, very well. Leverage their position, make them realize that this is the best position in the whole entire company because they're working so closely with you. This is an awesome position, whether it's your thousandth person you're recruiting or your first, it's the best position of all time. And if they get this position, they're going to get champagne and strawberries and horse-drawn carriage to all the events, right? Just sell it as much as you can. And that will get 90% of the people to make that step and take them over the fence. Okay. And they totally forget the questions they had anyway. I believe in Terry's interview, if you haven't watched that, make sure to watch that, guys. It's in your bonuses in your customer hub. Terry's interview on prospecting, it's fantastic. It's on how he went full time. And at the end, he says, hey, we are so conditioned from school and classrooms to answer people's questions, right? When the teacher asks us a question, we immediately raise our hand and we have to answer it. You do not have to answer people's questions, right? And he talks about that. You can get around them by just diverting their attention. And most of the time, it's not that legitimate of a question anyway, and they're ready to go, and they don't even know it yet. So this is a great way to help them realize it. And then after you say that, and they seem positive and all that, awesome. So you ready to do this thing? Yeah, I think I am. Cool. High five them, give them the application and say, here you go, fill this out. After you fill this out, we'll get you into some training. I'm just going to go use the bathroom real quick. Okay, perfect. And you just let them, don't interrupt the sign up process. Don't word vomit. Don't throw up on them. I don't mean literally. I mean, don't word throw up on them. Don't talk too much. Just let them handle it. How about this one? How many of you had questions about this? Oh my gosh, so many. Now, if you position this right, you will rarely get this. I rarely get this question or this objection, so to speak. And I'll tell you that if you're getting an objection more prominently than not, it's probably because it's the one you're most scared of. And subconsciously, you're projecting that onto your prospects. It's interesting how no matter who it is, we all get different objections a majority of the time. And why do we, it's the same people, right? People are people. But why do we get a majority of different objections for all of us? It's because it's the one we're most scared of. It has a lot to do with us. So if this is one that you're scared of, trust me, you're going to get it all the time. So just get over it, posture up, make sure that you're giving these people a reason to join you, which means you're qualifying them, not the other way around. But if somebody does ask this and it happens, I like to educate. I like to let people, now there's a billion different ways to handle this. A lot of different leaders will tell you a lot of different things. This is just what I personally like to do. Again, you don't even have to answer it really, but I just like to educate people and let them know what they're really asking. So I'll kind of look at them strangely and give them a kind of weird look and say, no, absolutely not. Pyramids are illegal, right? And they'll usually say, well, yeah, but because pyramids are illegal. So calling it a pyramid is like them insulting, the company. And so I let them know that. And I say, just so you know, now, actually something I forgot to mention, let me preface this. If they ask it in a way of, hey, so is this like a pyramid? Like they really want to know, then I'll answer it. If they ask in a really negative way, like, is this a pyramid? This seems like a pyramid to me. Then I will totally take it away from them and I will not even recruit them. I'll just walk away. I'll say, listen, okay, I think that you really didn't listen to a word I said. Appreciate your time. I really don't think it's a fit for you. So I hope you have an awesome day and appreciate you coming out, right? I don't want to work with negative people, but some people, it's a legitimate question. So I'll say this. Pyramids have no product and make money off of recruiting people. That's what a pyramid is. And it's a money machine, right? You can't do that. That's illegal. We make money off of product sales. This is like a direct sales team. That's how I explain it. And this is educating people, right? Because people don't understand. Every single company that you are in, every one of you is not a pyramid. You make money off of company sales. You make money off of product sales for the most part. You do not make money off of recruiting people. If you do make money when you recruit someone, it's from their business kit. It's from their product, right? Or, the residual is usually off of product sales. I just like to educate. Really simple. For a lot of you, this was like that makes so much sense. Yeah. So, and most of the time they're positive after that. Usually when they ask that, they don't even know what a pyramid is. So I just educated them. If they're still negative, next, bye-bye. See ya. Too many people, too little time. You got a lot of leads that are going to come in, so don't even worry about it. I don't even worry about it. I go for the low-hanging fruit. Now I want to transition into phone closing, which is very similar. So some of you had questions, and we're just about to wrap it up here, but this is an important point. Some of you had questions about, you can't always meet with someone face-to-face. Sometimes you have to send them the video, and that's totally fine. So how would you do this over the phone? Well, I would ask the exact same questions, almost to a T, very similar steps and questions. Instead of using the physical sheets, just talk about how important the timing is. Kind of frame it out in their mind for them. So you don't have to have the physical sheets, obviously, if you're over the phone. You can just talk about it. That would be the major difference. Instead of an application, now this is where I see a lot of people drop the boat. Instead of an application, grab their information over the phone. Right? I like to grab someone's information, take it over the phone. Now, some people, they don't want to give you their social and your credit card over the phone. Most, they don't care. So don't project that as an objection, right? Most people don't care, but some you will still have to send the website to. I don't like sending the website to people who are ready to join because something could happen in between me hanging up the phone and them going to sign up. They could get a flat tire. They could, their kid could get sick, whatever. I like to grab it over the phone and put it in myself over the computer. Okay, so just keep that in mind. When somebody says they're ready to go, I say, awesome. So how do you spell your last name? Where do you want your check sent? What's your billing address? Right? All that stuff, grab all their information and put them in. Very, very simple. So just some last minute tips for you guys. I know I threw a lot of information out at you, but it was fun. It was really fun. Try and have multiple appointments set back to back. And the goal of this is so that your prospect will see that you're busy. So when you go and sit down with someone, when you're wrapping up and you have someone walking in the door ready to meet with you, oh my God, that is the best thing ever, because they see that, oh, I'm not the only one she's got here. You know, this girl is rocking and rolling. I better get my act together. I better get in this thing, right? So try and have some appointments set back to back if you can. I really, really like them to see each other. I think it's pretty cool. Remember that you are not a convincer. You are a problem solver, smiley face. If I catch you convincing, it's not going to be good. We want problem solvers. And again, if you start to convince, just pick up your fingers from the keyboard physically, move them away from the keyboard, and go find another prospect, okay? I don't care if you're mid-message, do not send that message. When you get an application, this is a really good tip, guys. When you get an application, a physical application, go back to your prospects that are on the fence and give them an update. Again, this will depend on your compensation plan. If you're in a binary, you can say, hey, I just got an application. This person is going to be fantastic. I know you said that you were thinking about joining. If you join right now, I can actually throw this person underneath you. Okay? Works like gold. Now, you're not actually giving them the person as the enrollment. I know that's going to be a question. Just in a binary, they fall underneath you. There's nowhere else for them to go. So you're still the enroller, but they just fall underneath them as spillover. If that confuses you, don't worry about it. Just know that that's how it works. If you are not in a binary, then all you have to do is give them an update and say, listen, I know that you were thinking about joining. I actually just got an application from this guy, Joe. I just wanted to let you know he is going to run with this thing. Big things are happening. Just wanted to see if you made up your mind yet. Okay, so leverage that application. It's a big, big deal. Whenever you follow up with someone, you always want to follow up with an update, not with a, hey, are you ready to join yet? Hey, did you get my email? I sent you like 4 messages. Right? That's not going to make anybody join your business. Well, maybe if you go through enough numbers, right? Enough action, you'll definitely make money, but we want to keep your time as productive as possible, right? This is about walkaway income and some really good people. So here is your assignment. Are you guys ready? Write this down. Take these very seriously. You know, I don't want to be like your teacher and you're in college or something or in high school. I don't want it to have that feel, but remember that this is your business. And, you know, when we do go through this much information, sometimes it can be hard to put it all together and turn it into action steps. And what's our goal? Take action, right? So write this down, take it very seriously, and make sure that you hold yourself accountable. And you can even find somebody else in the course and become accountable to each other, right? Make sure you're doing assignments together. It makes it really fun. Your goal is 4 appointments in the next 7 days. Now, some of you will have to talk to 4 people and you'll get 4 appointments. You know, some of you are really good like that. Some of you may have to talk to 100 people, and that's okay because you don't know if one of those appointments is going to join, and if that one person is going to put hundreds, maybe even thousands of people in your business, right? That is the amazing leverage that we have in network marketing, is you just never know. So 4 appointments in the next 7 days, write that down. Stay tuned for Module 3. It's about training and momentum, how to get your team, these people that you're recruiting now, really into momentum and take your business to the next level. Really excited about Module 3. In fact, it's one of my favorites, so make sure to stay for that. Go through the Mike Hobbs bonus training on Facebook video. Now, for those of you that don't have a fan base built up yet, or you don't have a friend base, or you don't have that many mutual friends. Again, I gave you some really good tactics to get around that, but you should definitely be thinking of your business long term. And long term, you want to build up that friend base, right? You want to build up those people that see your stuff, and it also attracts people to you. It makes it easier for you to reach out to people and set up these appointments and, you know, get them to your video or whatever. So Mike Hobbs is a master at that. As one of your bonuses for getting this training, you get a whole tutorial on how he does Facebook video to get people to reach out to him that want to join his business. So I would definitely go through that in the next 7 days, just a high suggestion from me, and make a video based on that training. So go through that training. He'll tell you exactly how to make your video, and then just make it. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you're scared of video, don't worry. This will be your first one. It'll be awesome. My first videos were quite interesting, let me tell you. So the more that you do this kind of stuff, the better you get. You know, the best way to get better is by practice. You know, and you can just look at these appointments as practice. You can look at these videos as practice. Don't make it so stressful on yourself, okay? So those are your assignments for the next week. I look forward to seeing those. Again, reach out to me and let me know how I can best help you. And let's get into some questions. So let me see here. Okay, I know a lot of you wrote those down. Did you guys enjoy the module, by the way? Let me just ask that. Were you guys pumped? Was this good stuff? Yeah. Very excited. Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. Perfect. Super cool. Ooh, amen. Woohoo. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. You guys are so awesome. Faith watched Mike's presentation and created a video from it. Wow, that is awesome. Congrats. How did you like Mike's video? It's fantastic, isn't it? I mean, we've gotten such good feedback from that bonus alone. Okay, so let's get into some questions here. Where do we find Mike's training? So if you guys have any questions about where to find something, and I'll type it in the question box here, go to support@rayhigdon.com. support@rayhigdon.com, and they will help you. If you can't find a video or anything, they'll help you. But it's in your customer hub, okay? When you log in and scroll down, you will see, if you click on our training, okay, the social media local prospecting formula, and you scroll down, you will see all of your bonuses. If you're having trouble finding them, then email them, and they are fantastic. They will definitely take care of you. Congrats, Faith, on doing a video. That is just awesome. I do that all the time. You're so welcome, Leah. Good to see you on here. We just saw her in Destin, which is very cool. Okay, good question from Jerry. How does this method duplicate? Do we teach our recruits the same techniques? This is your material, so how does that work? Okay, very good question. So I definitely expect you to go out there and make this happen and train your teams on it. And a lot of this we're going to be teaching in Module 3 about what to train on, how to train them, how to get this information out to your teams. But, you know, you're learning it from me. A lot of the stuff that I learned isn't directly from me. I didn't invent it. You know, a lot of the social media stuff I did, of course, but, you know, the different ways to meet with people and things, I learned from other people, tweaked it, and made it work for me. And you can do the exact same thing with my methods. You know, you want to, when you start going out there and recruiting people, you can just tell them, hey, go reach out to people and roughly say this, and then get the meeting involved, and then either I'll do a training for you or I'll jump on the presentation with you, play the video, and then they can plug into our trainings. It duplicates very, very well. And in Module 3, I'll be training how to do that, but you can definitely take some of these concepts and share it with your teams. No problem at all. When you hand them the application, I'm assuming they already know how much it will cost them to get started, correct? Correct. So usually in the presentation, it mentions that. If it doesn't mention that in your presentation, then you want to just go over that with them and just let them know, listen, this is a business. You're investing in becoming a representative with the company. You're investing in your business center. It's like your license to get started. Can you put up the 5 elements of a presentation again? It got completed and then vanished too quickly for me. I can do that, George. Hang on one second. Let's go back here. 5 elements. And remember, guys, this is being recorded. So if you do miss something or you didn't get to take enough notes, then don't worry, because you'll have the recording of this. Here you go. Here are the 5 steps for the presentation. Awesome. I have a phone appointment and need to send the information. Which video should I send out? Which video did you send out? I mean, I sent out my company video mainly. I also have recorded my own. You know, I don't know what company you're in, and of course, I don't know all the tools you have. I have my own recorded video as well that I did for people that are in network marketing, because it talks more of a networker's language. But, you know, if they're brand new, then I usually use the company video. But our company video is pretty good. You know, a lot of times, you know, I've experienced this a lot where the company videos are not that great. You can record your own. Showing a company video is better than nothing. But, you know, don't wait for the company to do things. Record your own, do it yourself, and you'll be amazed at how much faster you get things done. That was a big thing for me, is I would always wait for the company to come out with things. I would wait for them to get a better video, wait for them to get a better, you know, brochure or whatever. And then I'm like, you know what? Wait for them to get better training. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to wait. Why would I wait? I'm a leader. This is my business, right? And this is how all of you should think. I'm a leader. This is my business. And I'm going to just create it. And I did, and I got massive feedback from the team. So, but very good question. But you know what? If it's better than nothing, so just send out what you have. Love it. Love it. Awesome. That was absolutely amazing. Oh, thanks, Leah. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Oh, so much good feedback. You guys are amazing. Love the scripts. Great training. Thanks, Jacob, so much. Great stuff. Okay, good question. My company is shifting more towards video presentations. Is it odd at all to watch a 10-minute video while at coffee? I've only done PowerPoint in the past. Oh, very good question. 10 minutes is perfect. You know, usually 10 to 15 minutes for a video is perfect. If it is a little longer than that, you may want to consider doing a presentation. And you can just read off the slides. It's not as hard as people make it out to be, guys. It's really, really not. You know, again, just remember you're framing it for their personality. But if you're showing a video, really good point that I should mention. I usually will go up and get more coffee, use the bathroom, come back. I'll be doing something while they're watching the video, and I'm watching it with them as well. So for about 5 minutes, I'm watching the video with them. About 10 minutes, I'm doing other things while they're watching it, and then I'll come back. So it's not awkward. I've done it before with the video. I've done it both ways. I've tested it. And that's the thing about, you know, building a business. It's a lot of testing to see what works for you and what works for your company. So either way will work. It's just a matter of what you prefer. Good scripts. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, guys. 3 appointments tomorrow. Wow, look at you, Rhonda. That is fantastic. Good for you. Love this. Great, really great info. Oh, you guys are awesome. Loved it. Really good info. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it. Another client on here. Oh, well, I appreciate that, Leah. Leah's wanting to know if we have a Facebook group where she can give me kudos for this module. I so appreciate that. Yes, we do. If you go into your customer hub, you should see the link for that, I believe. But I will just, oops, no, I don't want to end. Do not want to end the webinar. I want to get out of PowerPoint, but I'll just show you where it is. Here it is right here. It's the social media local prospecting formula. It is a secret group, so you either have to be invited. Actually, I'll invite you right now, Leah. Or you have to find it in your customer hub. So go in your customer hub or email support, and they'll make sure to have it for you. But very, very good question there. And I appreciate that. Great training. No one has ever explained this to me ever. Thank you. Oh, you're so welcome. Awesome training. Mike's is awesome as well. Yes. Okay. When they sign up, they will have 3 or 4 levels at which they can come in. 49, 149, or 499. How can you get them in at the top level without explaining the comp plan and the accelerated earnings for coming in at the top? Oh, okay. So very good question. What if your company has multiple levels? Well, this is how I like to do it. And you want to stick with your company culture and how the top guys are doing it. So, just because I like to do it this way doesn't mean that that's right for you and your company. However, the top leaders are doing it, that's how I would do it. But I like to present the highest option first. Why? Because they're thinking in their mind, okay, how do I come up with the 499? How do I do this? How am I going to get there? I really want to do this. And then, if they say, listen, I would love to do this, but they legitimately don't have the money, then I can say, well, there is a $149 option and you can upgrade later, but this is what you'll miss out on. Okay. So I just like to tell people, listen, people are going to come in the way that you come in, just so you know. And it's very true. I mean, people will. So I would come in, I would go all in. If you're really serious about this, get the $499. And that's how you're going to be bringing in most of your people as well when you go in that way. And most people totally get that and understand it without having to go into details of the comp plan. And again, if they do go down to the lower level, you still want to make them feel like they're an awesome part of the team. So just say, well, that is totally okay. I know a lot of people that came in at this level, had some success, and were able to upgrade later through the money that they made. So let's get you in at this level and start earning some money. Great question. Good question. Any tips or adjustments for younger people sitting down with older professionals? Very, very good question there. Me being young when I first started this business, I mean, I'm still young, but I was really young. I was 21 when I first started this business. I find that with people that were older than me or whatever, they really look to me as, because of the way that I presented myself, it was a huge hurdle for me to get over being younger, because I had this limiting belief that, I was too young to do this thing. But what really it translated to people is that youth is power. And they would look at me and say, oh my God, she's so young and doing this. This is awesome. I wish that I was this young knowing this stuff. So, you don't really want to adjust it based on age, but in any situation, just know that when you have the confidence and the posture, people will follow you no matter what area of life they're in. And you may even want to throw in there in every aspect of what I do, just so you know, every aspect, I'm throwing in social proof. So you may want to throw in there that you or your team works with some people that are, older, or, hey, we have a person that just retired and they were looking for something to do and they absolutely love this business. I would love to introduce you guys, something along those lines for social proof. Just think social proof in everything that you do, every message you do, every time you're trying to close someone. That's what people really like to see. They like to know, okay, there are other people doing this besides me, right? People love to know that. Really good question. I watched a Mike video and liked it too. Awesome. I'm a 7-figure earner and this stuff is great. Can definitely use for my team. Thank you so much, Brian. I appreciate that. And let me know how it goes with your team. I would love for you to give me an update. That would be awesome. Should I take my... Oh, okay. Should I take my works at company name off my Facebook page? I like to leave it there. And that's completely up to you wherever you're comfortable. I like to leave it there because there's going to be a lot of people that do see your stuff that you haven't reached out to, that they want to know more about what you do. And if you don't have a website of any kind, then I would definitely leave, your company.